is Farm and Ranch Radio Network, and we're here in Kansas City talking with Ted McKinney, the Undersecretary at USDA. And Ted, we're talking about trade today, and that's been a very hot topic, and a lot of things have been coming through the pipeline, and we've been hearing a lot about China. Would you like to elaborate on that?
Sure. Well, I don't have to tell your listeners or you that China is a very important market to all of U.S. food and agriculture. Every segment finds its way into China, and that's important. We've been working very hard to try to get a deal, but unlike many occasions before, we're not just going to do a deal without some enforcement, because the agreement on the side of the Chinese always fizzles and just goes away. So it's taken some extra time, and I want you to know I'm very, very grateful to our farmers, ranchers, and the entire food chain for their patience. But I would say after the cooling off period where they withdrew from the discussions, things are warming again. There's a lot of talk about signing a phase one. You've read or heard the president talk about that, and I am bullish that something will happen there. I don't think this one will fizzle as it did last time, although you just never know. We know that phase one has some relatively robust purchases across many different commodity items from all of U.S. agriculture, including those from your listening area. So good purchases. What we're working hard, though, on is some of the structural issues that led to the problems that allowed them to back away from purchases. And unless we get those fixed, we've gained nothing. So this includes things like, please approve the biotechnology traits in something less than 8 years. That's one. If you say you're going to have a tariff rate quota and bring in rice and wheat, a lot of wheat in Kansas, please honor that. Because if you don't honor what you say, you're going to distort the markets, and that's what's happened. And the list is very long. So if we have, we'll not get all of those in phase one. We'll have to come back on phase two to get some of the others, but I think there will be some of those, and that's very important. So ask me, we're more optimistic than not that phase one will land, and it'll bring a smile to people's lips.
And that's such a welcoming news to our Kansas producers, as something we've been waiting for quite a while, too.
Oh, yes. Now, farmers are realists. I have to remind them that you never know with our friends in China. They are my friends. I have respect for the people we're negotiating with, but it would not be the first time they've backed away a second time. So we'll just see. But I am hopeful and optimistic.
And it feels like we've been ping-ponging around, too, in agriculture, and we see a lot of things with USMCA also. We want to see that coming through finally. Oh,
well, absolutely. USMCA in all ways is a better deal than NAFTA. You know, I remind all my friends in ag, we all talked, me included, and say, do no harm. Ag is doing well by NAFTA. Don't do any harm. Well, we didn't do any harm, and the negotiations actually brought a significant opportunity for improvement across the board. The catch, though, is that passage of USMCA is much more in your listeners' hands than it is mine. Now, of course, I'm out talking and providing fact sheets and meeting with members of Congress, but it's constituents that now have to deliver this package. And I know there's a lot of that going on, so good. I'm hearing good things about the discussions between the committee that Speaker Pelosi assigned to look into this, and, of course, Ambassador Lighthizer, his team. We're involved in that in some. I think it's all good news, but at some point they've got to say, send the legislation to the Hill. And it has not happened yet. I hear maybe this week, maybe next. Time's getting on, and we all know that trade deals usually pass by less than 10 votes. We can't just wait till the last day of their session in December to have it called up. But I'm still optimistic. Notwithstanding that we have not seen the legislation go to the Hill, I am optimistic we'll get something, and it's a good deal.
And it's almost like we can finally see the finish line. So excited about that.
Oh, my. And Canada wants it so bad, and Mexico's already passed it. You know, many people look at the opportunity to sell a bit more, and there is the truth to that. What they fail to remember is that there's brand new language on how we treat sanitary, phytosanitary issues. That's usually where one country gets to screw the other on something that they don't like. We have a brand new, first ever chapter on biotechnology and biosciences that we hope we can apply to other country deals so that it's not quite so easy to say, oh, I just don't like those GMOs or that gene editing. I'm very worried about that. I'm not going to accept that. Baloney. That's not good science, and that's just a cop-out. So there's way more than just an opportunity to sell more.
And even though we might see the finish line, we all know that work is never done on the Hill. So can you talk about things that might be coming through the pipeline, maybe other countries?
Sure. Well, as you know, I've spent as much time in countries other than our major trading partners than I have those that are major. Now, it's both. It is both. But we've spent a lot of time in Brazil. And the good news is that we and Brazil look at the world and trade in very much the same light. We're very like-minded on acceptance of technologies. We all know they're a behemoth like we in the production of soy and corn and therefore DDGs and so forth, ethanol. But the catch is that there have been some languishing issues that they have not honored. And today, the Secretary of Ag and Ambassador Lighthizer announced that a long-awaited 20-year-old commitment for Brazil to purchase 175,000 metric tons of wheat from markets other than the Mercosur countries is going to happen. So that doesn't mean that we in the U.S. get all 175,000. That's available to all countries outside of Mercosur. But given our quality, given our logistics, our proximity, I think we've got a good shot at a good share of that. And I think that should be of great information and news to our friends in Kansas and beyond.
It definitely is. We're always looking for a way to get that Kansas wheat out into the world.
Yes. And then beyond that, we're now seeing the confirmation language from China that they will reopen their market to our poultry. And our understanding, more clarification coming, is that this is all poultry. This is ducks like I have in Indiana. This is turkeys. This is broilers. This is egg and egg products. So as this warming opportunity continues with China, we'll take that. It's a great opportunity for our poultry industry.
Well, thank you so much. Again, Ted McKinney with the USDA. He's the Undersecretary for Trade. For the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network, I'm Sarah Miles.